Hey, it's Lee, and I'm here with another frozen food review. And this is kind of a classic. This is a Hungry Man dinner. I need to do a little bit of research here. I know that Hungry Mans were introduced by Swanson. I'm almost 100% sure of that. But when I look at this, I see no mentions of Swanson. You'll note that this box is partially open. That's because I forgot that I was going to review this. But they do mention a company here called Conagra Brands. But I'm wondering if that might just be Swanson. Or if they split the brands at one point. Very interesting. I don't know. Or maybe it's just very interesting to me. But I was convinced these were by Swanson. Which is why earlier when I was reviewing a Swanson, I think like a month ago almost, I said something along the lines of like, their Hungry Mans are something else, and I might have been wrong. Of all the Hungry Man flavors, this is one of the classics. This is turkey. So it's seasoned turkey with gravy, potatoes, corn stuffing, and dessert. And I've probably had this meal 15 times in my life. I was going to say a higher number than I was kind of realistic about it. But I haven't had it in the past 20 years of my life. This is more of a high school me kind of meal. The turkey in here is obviously a turkey roll. That's why they say 15% meat protein. What else is in there? I don't know. I'm looking at the weight here, as is customary for Hungry Man. 455 grams is 1 pound, so it's 1 pound of food. It's always 1 pound of food. Instructions in terms of heating, of course, they have a conventional oven instruction, which I've done fairly recently for other TV dinners, and I've actually found was surprisingly good. So it's saying it's got a little bit of like specific instructions. Remove the film from the dessert. Cook on high for 5 minutes. Stir the potatoes and stuffing and rearrange the turkey. So essentially move things around. Cook for another 3 to 4.5 minutes. Interesting. So that's going to be essentially these instructions are always for either 1,000 watt microwaves or even 1,100 watt microwaves. My microwave is 800 watts. So that means this will probably take 12 minutes to cook. I was almost better putting it in the oven. Granted, that's 40 minutes, but okay. Yeah, and look at that ingredient list. I think that's like a lot of this stuff is all turkey roll ingredients, which is a little scary, but we'll make it happen. It also has 62% of my daily sodium, so that's good news, I guess. Yeah, I still am looking forward to trying this again because I really haven't had it in so long. We'll see how it goes. All right, next time you see this, it will be partially eaten, and I will have a review. All right, we're back, and I have a review of this Hungry Man, possibly Swanson's. We have established that it might be Swanson's, but this Hungry Man dinner, this is turkey, essentially like a Thanksgiving feast, we'll say. So let's go through all the elements and break them down. The turkey is very thinly sliced turkey roll. I don't know why, but I feel like they used to give more in this particular dinner. I think they've added more of the other stuff and kind of reduced the amount of turkey. That would make sense, but whatever. You know what? It's easy to eat. Is it turkey? No, it's not turkey at all. But it's easy to eat. I have no problem with it. You need to have some kind of meat in here, so that works fine. The stuffing is really not that bad. The only tricky thing with the stuffing is that there's some parts of it that heat up with some gravy on it, and there's some parts that heat up without the gravy, and the parts without the gravy sometimes get really hard. But it's kind of nice to have some texture in a meal that's microwaved every once in a while, so I actually kind of don't mind it as much. Flavor-wise, it's pretty standard stuffing. It just tastes like chicken stock, bread, and maybe some spices. It's not very garlicky or anything like that. It's just fine. The potatoes are standard microwavable potatoes, but you know, I've mentioned it a few times, modern microwavable potatoes are way better than old ones. They used to have a weird flavor. These are fine. They're good enough. The gravy mixes in with them nicely. I would say I think clearly the winner out of all these ingredients, or I think I saved the best for last essentially here. The gravy is really, really good. Maybe it's just me, but I think this is like a solid turkey gravy. I don't mind turkey, some gravies that come out of packets as long as it's a good one. And this tastes good. This tastes very much like turkey. So I really like the gravy. It may be my favorite element on the plate. The corn, as is usual for frozen meals, is excellent. Tastes super fresh. I love that microwavable meals, I love when microwavable meals include corn because it always kind of works. And then the dessert, it's a little soupy. It's quite soupy, actually. And if you look at it, it's like it doesn't even fill up a quarter of the tray. I would love to trade off a little bit of the stuffing because they seem to give a ton of stuffing. I'd love to trade off a little bit of stuffing for more dessert. Or even trade off a little bit of corn for more dessert. I'd make some deals here because I'd want more of this. This cranberry apple dessert is quite tasty. But it has no texture to it. So maybe they leave it liquidy so you can kind of use it like cranberry sauce. I don't know. Overall, I know that especially the turkey loaf, I feel, makes a lot of people cringe. And rightfully so. It's not turkey. Let's not call it turkey. But it's easy to eat. It's super easy to eat. It's very delicate. And the gravy is delicious, so it makes it go down pretty easily. And everything else on this plate isn't bad. It's really not that bad. So as much as I think there are better Swanson dinners out there, this is far from inedible. It's actually very edible. And there's a couple like that gravy. And gravy is so important because you can put it on anything and make anything better, right? But that gravy is really good. So to me, it's not a perfect meal by any stretch, but it's a 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10 all day. It's been a 7 out of 10 for, I don't know, 50 years. It's going to be a 7 out of 10 for 50 more years, I'm sure. Completely edible. Yeah, very, very okay. Nothing stands out except for the gravy to me, but very, very edible. All right. That's all I've got. Excuse me.